What's up, guys? My name's Captain Dave and welcome back to the Captain's Quarters, the video in which I go through and answer all of your questions and comments from last time's video. So, as of recording this, the very first episode of the Untitled podcast just went live. So, if you haven't seen it yet, then what the hell are you doing? What are you doing here? Go over and watch it, you crazy so-and-so. But yeah, if you have watched it, what do you guys think? Because I remember a while ago, I asked you guys what... I floated the idea of a possible podcast, sort of just a chatting to and fro between Tommy and myself about comics, movies and all that sort of good stuff, and you liked the idea of it. So if you have already seen a portion of it, or you've watched the whole thing already, what do you guys think? Is it everything you thought it would live up to be? And if you haven't seen it yet, go over and check it out. It's just me and Tommy talking about Daredevil, the Netflix series for a lot of it, the MCU, we talk about comic books, we talk about Flashpoint, Miss Marvel, directors, the future of Phase 3 in the Marvel Universe. It is a good time to be had by all, so go over there, check it out. It's a definitely a fun time. Other than that, before I get into the questions, I've also floated the idea of doing a section about comic books, just talking about either my Marvel graphic novel series I've got going, and even though I've kind of played around with a video or two, I don't know, there's something about it I just don't like. And I think I maybe want to go in a different direction with it. And that's the great thing about starting something new, is you can play around with ideas before you actually go forward. But as of right now, for the next month or so, it's deadline week at university, and then I've got a whole 4 months off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on the gameplay videos like I'm always doing, the podcast, Captain's Quarters, the Captain's Classics, Skyrim, and The Walking Dead Season 2 I'm about to start soon, so... Well, I mean, we've already got quite a lot going on here, so I'm just going to focus on this sort of stuff, and more importantly, focus on getting my coursework done. Because I've been procrastinating, good and proper. If there's anything I've learned how to do in my life of education, it's how to procrastinate. So I'm going to focus on that sort of stuff, and then once I finish university for this year, I think then I might look into doing the comic book thing again. But as for right now, I'm going to put that on hiatus, come back to it maybe with fresh eyes in a month or so. Anyway, with that being said and done, let's get into the questions this week, and we are starting off with Jim Vernier, who said, I am on episode 5 at the moment, things are starting to heat up, that's for sure. And I think you're talking about Daredevil, because if I am rightly in thinking, I must have talked about Daredevil quite a bit at the start of the Captain's Quarters last week. And talk about it even more at the start of the podcast. Holy hell, it was I swear 40 minutes we were talking about it. But yeah, Daredevil Netflix, fantastic. Chantra B said, have you ever watched or heard of Dragon Ball Z? I have heard of it, but I haven't really watched it. Don't really plan on watching it, it's not exactly my cup of tea. Other than the whole over 9,000 thing and going Super Saiyan, that's pretty much all I really know about it. WJS Gamer said, hey Dave, who do you like more, Spider-Man or Juggernaut? You are just so tempted to try and get me out with one of these, aren't you? Well, it's a good try, but unfortunately it still falls in the Spider-Man category. You're going to be hard-pressed to find someone who I don't like, who I actually like more than Spider-Man. I mean, hell, I got a tattoo of the guy covering like a huge portion of my left arm, so you'll be hard-pressed to find someone I like more than Spider-Man. Tanjil Malik said, what do you want in Mass Effect 4? Ooh! Speaking of Mass Effect 4, I mean, Mass Effect 4 is something I've spoke about quite a lot in like previous Captain's Quarters, and Mass Effect is something I've gone into quite a lot of detail to. But if there is something you guys want to know, it has recently been leaked. It has recently been leaked some information about Mass Effect 4. So you tell I'm excited because now I can't talk. If you go to my Twitter page, which is always in the link to every single description of every video I ever do ever, and I highly suggest you all follow me on either Facebook or Twitter, because it's the best way to keep up to date with what I do. I don't post that much, but when I do, it's relevant to the channel, so most of the time. But anyway, if you go to my Twitter page, I recently retweeted basically it was like a survey that a Mass Effect had released and somehow got leaked to the general public, which it shouldn't have done. And it basically highlights the general narrative, the general plot, like not really spoilers, but just general sort of like the plot you'd have on the back of the case of the game. And it gives like the general plot. It reveals stuff about like the customization of the vehicles you have, what type of vehicles you have, what type of squad mates you have, the fact there's loyalty missions still, how many squad mates you're gonna have, where it's set, what time period, all this sort of stuff. Go over there and give it a read. It's on my Twitter page. I retweeted it, so you should be able to find it that way. yeah, so actually, I was going to say I'll put a link in the description, but it'll just be a link to my Twitter page, and that's already there, so yeah, go to my Twitter, and I retweeted it. It's fantastic, it gives this whole blurb about it. Not to the extent of, like, spoilers, giving away, like, the total plot, because obviously I wouldn't want to read that either, but it gives, like, the general synopsis of what's going down, and obviously, even though it hasn't been confirmed, because it's been leaked, everyone who's reading it says, like, this looks to be legit, because apparently something similar happened last year with Dragon Age Inquisitions, and it's almost identical in the same way it's been leaked. So right now the general consensus seems to be that it could be true, and apparently from stuff that has already been confirmed, it links up quite heavily with that. So yes, if you want to know anything that could, I mean, it's still in the rumour category right now, but if you want to look at anything that could possibly be true, go to my Twitter and see the tweet that I retweeted. That's a lot of tweets, that was. AJ Singh said, what is your favourite zombie game? Oh, you got a few ones here, so I answer these one at a time. What's my favourite zombie game? Probably The Walking Dead by Telltale. See, zombies are one of those things that has just been done to death now. It really has. Sipping on my tea before it goes cold. I have a sore throat. Sorry, it's going off topic from the zombie thing, but I've got a mouth ulcer. And that's how committed I am to you guys. A podcast and a Captain's Quarter, both with a mouth ulcer. I'm just just committed to the cause, what can I say? But my favourite, yeah, zombies is something that's been kind of done to death in my opinion. I mean, and the problem is, well, it's not really a problem, but the thing is, it's still enjoyable, so that's probably why it's been done to death. Like, the film genre, I can see it being, I don't know. I was going to say the film genre, I can see it being more entertaining for longer. But I actually think games has probably got a longer market on zombies. Like, and how entertaining it is to play and stuff. I think that'll probably outlast film with the zombie genre. But favourite zombie game is probably The Walking Dead by Telltale. And that's because it's actually more focused on the characters and the story than it is zombies. But if you're just talking about your general hack and slash zombie game, there's loads that I've wanted to play. Like, I've obviously played Nazi zombies and stuff like that, which is a hell of a lot of fun, but I played a little bit of Left 4 Dead. I've always wanted to play Dead Rising. I mean, I really haven't touched on the zombie genre. It's amazing how I've actually been able to sidestep it a little bit. But if you're ever curious about zombie gameplay, I actually, way back, the first video I ever uploaded was a Nazi zombie video. And it was me and Sergeant Skiddy, just sort of like a collage of the funny bits, the best bits. And also, in that very first video is the first time my PVR cut out as well. Right at the very end of the montage of all the favourite clips, we both scream. And that's because my PVR cut out and the picture and the audio all went out of sync and it went black for a little bit. So, you guys, if you actually go and watch my very first video, right at the very end, you'll get to see what it looks like when my PVR cuts out before I edit it, because obviously now if it cuts out during a walkthrough, I just edit the 2 seconds out and I link up all the audio again and everything's hunky-dory. But if you go watch that, you'll see what actually happens, what I see, and you get to see my first reaction, the very first time that ever happened. So yeah, good question. I'm glad you made me remember that. But yeah, my very first video, Nazi Zombie Foul 2010, I believe it was called. Yeah, Class of 2010. And right at the very end, we scream, and the picture kind of flickers a little bit, and it all goes out of sync, and then I die because the PVR cut out and my screen went black. So, yeah, go have a look at that. Okie pokey. So, what do you think of the Gotham TV series? I like it. I think it's getting better as well, because I wouldn't say let down. I don't know. I suppose I expected bigger things from it, but I've kind of touched on this point before, is that I felt like it was kind of like a kid when he gets a new toy. That's what I felt like the first episode of Gotham was. It was like, look at all these characters, and they're not the Riddler yet, and they're not Poison Ivy yet, but here they are. It's just the first episode. What, you had Poison Ivy, you had Penguin, you had Gordon, Batman, Black Cat, Riddler. Who else was it? Loads of characters were just sprinkled into the first episode, and you're thinking, alright, calm down. Like, you've got a whole season to one by one carefully weave these into the story. Yet they were just like, look what we can do right at the start. And I was a bit, I don't know, the look of the show I thought was awesome, but I wasn't too impressed. As it's gone on, I've been growing to like it more and more and more. I mean, let's not say I disliked it. I still liked it. I still liked it from the very start. I'm just liking it more as it's going on. I do not like Fish Mooney. And that's nothing to do with the character, because as I say, I don't read DC, so for all I know, I don't even know if Fish Mooney was actually a character from DC Comics. That's how little I know. And I don't think it's even Jada Pinkett. Is it Pinkett or Pinkett Smith? No, I don't know what it is. There's something about her. Something about a character. I just don't like her. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like in the gritty sort of tone they're trying to give to it, it doesn't seem believable she's still alive. It just really doesn't. But I don't know. I feel, as I said before, it's just like, I feel like all the actors, it kind of feels like a university like stage production. They like, all the actors are so aware who they're supposed to be. Like the Riddler seems like he's on bloody Ritalin, and or should be on Ritalin, but it's just like, and I know that's kind of like his character. And then the Penguin is really kind of like hyperactive and a bit camp as well. And Zaz is like, it's just all of them seem to be, and the Black Cat as well, or whatever her name actually is. It's just like, they all seem very much aware of who they are, as like, they know that they're playing a character who goes on to be a bigger thing, and it just seems like they all overplay it a bit. That's just my opinion. I mean, having said that, it sounds really stupid. I sort of look at the negatives all the time, but I like the show. I really do like the show. I mean, I have plenty of things that I record, and Gotham's normally one of the first of them that I watch. Like, if I've got 5 things I recorded, I watch Gotham first. So, I do like it. I genuinely do like it. It's just there's a few things that kind of just make me about it. I mean, I think the guy who plays Jim Gordon is actually one of the better actors of the whole program. Which is weird, because when I first saw him cast as Gordon, all I could think of was he was the guy from the OC. I couldn't believe it, but now, going into it, I think he's one of the best actors in the whole show. Him and the Butler. And I know you guys are going to say that's just because he's British, but no, I think he's doing a good job. But yeah, despite my rant, I do like Gotham. I thought it could have been more than it is. What Marvel and DC TV series do you watch? Okay, so obviously I watch Daredevil because, as my friend said to me the other day, am I being paid to sponsor Daredevil? I wish I was, but because that program, so good. But yeah, Daredevil, I watch Gotham, I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I would have watched Agent Carter if any British TV series TV company decided to pick it up. No, it looks like I have to try and torrent it or something, but... Right, yeah, it's like Marvel, like these big company that is, but no British company thought that picking up Agent Carter would like bring them in any money. No, well done, Britain. You're just fantastic. But yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watch, Daredevil, or did watch Daredevil. I watch Gotham. I do not watch Flash and Arrow, and that's not because I don't like them. I've never watched them. By the time I heard that Arrow was good, it was already to the end of its 2nd season, so I decided at that point that I'd wait and then just binge watch them all together. And then the Flash came out, and I really wanted to start watching Flash, but then because I heard it linked in with Arrow, I thought I can't really watch Flash until I've started watching Arrow, and it became just like a whole thing. But no, I really want to watch Arrow and Flash, especially Flash. I really want to watch Flash. I've always said if I was to read DC, Flash is where I'd start, because he seems like the character I would like. But no, so yeah. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil, and Gotham, but I do also plan on watching Flash and Arrow at some point. Lucas, let's see if I can remember how to pronounce your last name. Lucas I am not going to get this right. Bernardswicks. Lucas, I can never remember how to pronounce your last name, said, "Hey Dave, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy?" Oh, of course I have. Of course I've watched Guardians. I saw that loads and loads of times by now. It's a great Marvel movie. One of the best Marvel movies, I think, last year. MC Knight said, "Hello Dave, my question is, who is your favourite character out of Mass Effect 1 and 2 out of backstory, personality and abilities? The reason ME3 isn't included is because I haven't got to it yet and I don't want spoilers on my pancakes." Now, who would want spoilers on their pancakes? That's the worst thing to be on your pancakes. Right, so who's my favourite character out of Mass Effect 1 and 2 out of backstory and personality? Okay, and abilities. There's two ways of looking at this. Do you want a character who's present in both Mass Effect 1 and 2, or do you want one from 1 and 2 combining backstories, personalities, or abilities, or do you want 1 and 2, like 3 from Mass Effect, for 1 for backstory, 1 for personality? I'm going to look at 1 and 2, and I'm just going to combine backstory, personality, and abilities. So it's like a general genre for how to pick my candidate. Anyway, so Mass Effect 1. Oh, I don't know. It's between Garrus, Tali, and Rex. And not just because they're my favourites, but I think they've got the better story. But he said that cadence, like abilities, personalities, where he kind of gets let down, really. Backstory's kind of cool. If it's a mixture of backstory, personalities, and abilities, like all combined into one, then it has to be Rex, I think. Because he's got a cool story about like the war he had, like the fight he had with his dad, and how he left the clans because he's sort of given up on the Krogan, and then how he became a mercenary, and how he actually worked for Saren at one point and left, and then it turns out that Saren killed his whole crew, so it was lucky he left. And he's got some cool abilities, and his personality's awesome. Because I was thinking Tali for backstory, and her personality gets better in Mass Effect 2 and 3, and obviously I won't say anything about 3, so I don't spoil it. But her personality gets better, so it's just her abilities they're not that great in the first Mass Effect. I mean, Ashley does not get picked at all, so her abilities are useless in Mass Effect 1. Absolutely useless. She has like 3, and 2 of them are just like your bulk standard, like heal team and stuff like that. So I'm going to go Rex. And for Mass Effect 2, now that's harder, because there are so many awesome backstories and personalities in Mass Effect 2. See, I want to say Grunt, but he's just personality alone. Morden is just fantastic. He's got some good abilities, a great personality, and a decent backstory. I think I might have to actually go with Morden. See, Jack's quite cool as well. Thane. They've just all got Legion as well. They've all just got such great backstories. But if you're mixing backstory, personality, and abilities as like the trifecta, then it's got to be Morden. Like Incinerate and stuff like that, some great abilities to have. He's got a fantastic personality, one of the best in the game, and his backstory with the Genophage is just awesome. So, I mean, there's other characters that are great, like Thane, but then his personality's okay. Like, he's kind of cool, and his backstory is alright, but it's just, I think if you're going for the trifecta, it's just got to be Morden. But anyway. Jason Lapel said, US... Oh yeah, because I was asking about waffles last time, weren't I? US waffles are made from sweetened batter, much like a more like a muffin or scones batter with less rising in texture. They are often topped with whipped cream, cheese, or fruit, much like French crepe or condensed syrup. Also, many people add blueberries or chocolate chips to their batter. Yes, they kind of... Yeah, so as you say, they're more like a muffin or a scone, I guess. More like a sweet, where over here they're more of a dinner thing, but fair enough. Blastai Studio said, doing a vid about the MCU would be cool, and you spoke about the gritty Pokemon. You reminded me of my idea for a Pokemon series, where Pokemon battling is illegal, and they fight to the death, and the main character is the last Pokemon trainer to be given a starter Pokemon, and most have Gym Leader, Elite Four, and professors have been killed by Team Plasma, led by N. Oh my. I could go on for a long time. P.S. Name all your video from now on. P.S. Name all you video make form now on. I have no idea what that last bit means. Yeah, but you know, there's actually a video on YouTube. You saying about that? There's a video on YouTube where someone made like a live action Pokemon trailer, like for a film that obviously never got made, but it was the whole idea was just the trailer, and like all the Pokemon were like really gritty, like Meowth had a Tommy gun, and like Ash was addicted to drugs, and like Misty was a prostitute, and Brock was killed, and it was like really gritty. And Team Rocket are this massive like mafia style organization. So I can't remember what it's called. It's something like a Pokemon Apocalypse or something like that. But if you search in YouTube, it was actually that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description. But it was something like Pokemon Apocalypse or something. But anywho, keep forgetting about my tea and it's going cold. Jason Lapel also said, I found that last comment interesting. I am a youth mentor for youth group and find it odd. I can always spot the ones with learning problems. We all are very calm and controlled emotionally. Me and my other are both that way, and we both have a form of dyslexia as well. I rarely recommend this, but you should think of doing a Patreon account. I think what is with me today? I know you don't think of this as a profession, but I do think that even with just an end credit posting, you have one set up, you might be able to get enough tips to buy your gear. It's no different than us donating to the show. See, now it's funny you mentioned that, because that's been something I've been battling with in my mind for a while now, about a Patreon or setting up a PayPal account or something like that. Because like you say, I don't think of this as a profession. As time has been going on, I more and more am. There was a point last year where, I don't know why, it was maybe just the ads at the start of videos or something like that were just better. But the money increased a little bit. And I don't like talking about money. It seems like, I don't know why, I get the feeling like I shouldn't for some reason. But it got to a point when, I don't know, I think people are getting their heads sometimes that people on YouTube earn hundreds and thousands. And like people like PewDiePie and stuff like that, yeah, they do. They make millions. They make millions. But people like me, with 31,000 subscribers, make nothing. Like the only reason I think I even earn any remnants of money from this is because I have a few videos that have done very, very well. And the fact that obviously all you good people return every single day to watch my videos. But there's no way I could live off this right now. I'm doing a okay job right now, but it's because I live in like a tiny 2-bedroom flat, and it's just the two of us. If I ever wanted a house, if I ever wanted a family, if I ever actually want to go on holiday or buy myself some new clothes, then I'm gonna need more. This needs to be a bigger thing, if you see what I mean. And that goes to the same thing with me buying equipment and stuff like that. So I just want to put that out there, like people who think like people on YouTube can just like get a couple of thousand subscribers and do this as a profession. No, and that's why I've always said I don't see this as a profession. I just see this as a bit of having fun, a bit of just making videos because I like it. Although, however, recently, I don't know, I got a taster of what it could be like to do this full time, and I love it. And now the only problem with that is now I'm not again, and I'm at university and I'm working and it's kind of sucks. It's like being given a load of money, experiencing it for a couple of months, and then I'm taking it all away again. And it's I don't know. It's just like I've got that taste of what it could be like to make videos like forever, like for you guys full time, and have all day to dedicate it to it. And I love it. That's why, if you've probably seen the amount of videos I've been making recently has gone up. Like with 2 Skyrim videos a week, 2 Walking Dead videos a week, a Captain's Classic, a podcast, the Captain's Quarters. It's because I've got so back into this. There was a long period where I really fell out of doing this, and that was obviously to do with extenuating circumstances in like my real life. But for a long time, I kind of lost the passion, and now I'm sort of back into it again, and I love it. And I've had a taste of what it could be like to do this. Like, it sounds silly saying it's a job, but like, every day waking up doing this, it's been fun, and I really want to keep doing this. That's why I'm so looking forward to at the end of May, when I've got so much time off to do this. So setting up something like a Patreon account or a PayPal account, so I can afford to get a next gen console, so I can do an Arkham Knight walkthrough, or so I can get a new PVR so it doesn't constantly cut out during the walkthroughs, or so I can get a better microphone, or get a webcam so I can live stream these Captain's Quarters, or get better editing software. I can make intros, outros. I've wanted to do that for a long time, so I've always wrestled with the idea of setting up a Patreon account or a PayPal account. I don't know. I would like to. I'm definitely thinking about doing it. I mean, it's because the idea, I want to. Sorry, I've been rambling a little bit here. I want to do it. It's something I want to do, but I always feel like the second I do that, I don't know. I've never really asked anything from you guys, but I don't like. I felt like it's one of those things that I set it up, but if I set it up, it's for those who want to. There's no obligation to do it, but I feel just like, as a part of me, I hate asking for things. I hate it, absolutely hate it. Now, I don't know why. Like someone in real life, somebody could ask for a lift, and I'll give it to them, and yet the next day, I would walk home for hours and wouldn't even occur to me to ask that same person for a lift. It doesn't enter my mind. So like, I feel like if I was to set one up, I feel like I would be asking you guys for money, which is of course not at all what it is. But I feel like just by setting one up, I feel like that's what I'm doing. You know, and I don't know, it makes me feel dirty. I don't know. I think sometimes I just need to slap myself around the face and say get over it, but I don't know, I've been thinking about it for quite a while now. I mean, add that to the question I was going to ask you guys. Like, what do you think of the podcast we've been doing with Tommy? And what do you think of like a Patreon or a PayPal account? I mean, I don't know. Is that something you guys would be willing to actually do? Because if not, then I don't want to go through and do it all for no reason. But I mean, if I set that up and you don't think I'm being a jerk by doing that, then yeah, I will. Because I mean, that's the things like you ask about saying like do next Mass Effect and the next Arkham Knight and stuff. I'd love to do that, but I can't afford to get myself a next gen console. So I don't know. I've really dragged this out. Let's get on with the questions. Let's move on. I'm just sitting there thinking out loud now. Anyway, did Darkman 1 Fest? Well, my question was answered in the opening, so now I have no question. Oh, my apologies. Hopefully just reading out your comment was enough. Jim Jenks said, "What's up, Dave? Speaking of Daredevil, what do you think of Charlie Cox as Matt?" I think he nailed it. I think he did so well, and I think even better than how well he did as Daredevil, or as I really should say the Black Mask. I think he played a blind person better, because I remember watching Matt Damon in what do I always say Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. I always get them too confused. Ben Affleck in the first Daredevil did that atypical thing that all people who play blind people do, where they look everywhere but the person's face. And they don't just like, you can be blind without looking like a complete idiot. And it's like, they always, like, every person who plays a blind person always pulls a really gormless face and always stares up. He's like, I'm sorry, if you're blind, you can still hear where the person's voice is coming from. You're not going to be looking up at the clouds. It's just, that always bugs me. Like in Gotham recently, there was a blind person. He spent the whole time looking up. And I'm like, what, does he think everyone around him's a giant? No. I think it's so offensive to blind people. But Charlie Cox, I think, did a really good job. Like, he didn't look them dead in the eye and he didn't follow them with his eyes because he's supposed to be blind. But he looked at them and he still had facial expressions. I just think he did a good job. I really think he played the part well. Not only made it believable that he was blind, made it believable that he was blind but actually technically could see, like to a certain extent because of his abilities, and he played it and looked like a decent human being at the same time. I think Charlie Cox has nailed it, absolutely nailed it, and I can see why before they did Daredevil, the director said that he had Charlie Cox in his mind for years to play Daredevil, like years and years before it was even floated as an idea. He wanted Charlie Cox to be Daredevil, and I can see why, because he's just done a fantastic job. But yeah, Jim Jenks went on to say, personally I love him, he makes the character so likeable and almost relatable, and I think he's done a fantastic job. I also hope to see Bullseye and the Hand in Season 2, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure if there's even going to be a Season 2 of Daredevil, because I know there's going to be Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and then the Defenders. So, maybe in the Defenders, who knows. It would be awesome though. Especially like how sadistic Bullseye can be. J2 Gaming Inc. said, the whole Daredevil seems really Batman-esque to me. Not that this is a bad thing. Yeah, quite a lot of people have compared Batman to, or Daredevil to Batman, Batman to Daredevil. But, yeah, but that's the same with Marvel and DC. There's lots of superheroes the same. You've got the Sentry and Superman. You've got Batman and Daredevil. Or Batman and Iron Man, depending on how you want to look at it. Because like, you can look at it in two ways. Like, if you look at them as superheroes, then Batman and Daredevil are quite similar. You know, jumping through the night, wearing a cowl over their face, where are they? All that sort of stuff. But at the same time, if you're looking at the person, then you could say Iron Man and Batman are quite similar in the fact of Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark. Both have no powers, but both are very rich and have created suits for themselves. So it depends how you really want to look at it. But yeah, obviously you got Deadpool and I always forget his name. Deathstroke, Slade Wilson and Wade Wilson. So there's always similarities between all superhero genres. And you got Wolverine and what's the DC equivalent? Lobo. So Nicole Soltero, I hope I pronounced that right, said, I absolutely love Daredevil. I wanted 6 episodes. I wanted 6 episodes until 4 AM and had to get up early that morning. It was that good. Yeah, I know. I could have watched them all in one day, but I decided to give myself a break just so I could enjoy it for longer. So I ended up taking about a day and a half to watch them all. But, oh man, it was just so addictive. It was so addictive. Yusuf Yasir said, hey Dave, how's it going? I have 3 questions for you. Right, so let's go through these one at a time. 1. If you could combine 2 characters from Marvel with somebody from Mass Effect and you have to do it 3 times, e.g. Hulk and Rex, Grunt and Juggernaut, and Captain America and Shepard. Right, so combine 2 characters. Right, so let's think about this. Well, that's that one was actually a really good one you come up with, Captain America and Shepard. I mean, them two just go hand in hand, don't they? Unless you chose a Renegade Shepard. Then maybe it would be Nick Fury and Shepard in that case, if you chose a Renegade Shepard. But no, Captain America Shepard's a good one, but as you've already chose it, I'll pick something else. So, see, that's the thing, is like if you can combine 2 characters, and that straight away when you think about combining 2 characters, you always go with the same mindset that people go, like if you could do a versus between DC and Marvel, and then people always pick people that are really similar. So with that set in mind, I'm going to try and think about combining 2 people who aren't necessarily similar, so I get that to be kind of cool. So I'm going to go with... See, straight away I thought of 2 people similar. I just thought of Galactus and the Reapers. Can you imagine? Oh, imagine that! If the Reapers were the Herald of Galactus. Could you imagine that? How cool would that be? Oh, man, that'd be great. Assuming control of your world. Man, how easy would it be for Galactus? A Reaper comes down, indoctrinates everyone, assumes control of everyone, and then all the superheroes are just standing still while Galactus mines the planet. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't pick people who are similar, but there you go. Instead of combining the 2, what if the Reapers were a Herald of Galactus? There you go. That would be fantastic. That would be a great crossover. I'd love to see that. Okay, I'm also going to mix. I'm trying to think of some really unique combinations. Alright, oh, what if you mixed Giant Man with a Hannah? That really would be a big, stupid jellyfish. Oh man, it's tentacles everywhere. It feels like something from a hentai. Oh man. Okay, so we got the Reapers as the Herald as Galactus, Giant Man, and Hannah. Good lord, that's a world I would not want to live in. And who should be the last one be? Oh no, who should I combine them with? I've just thought of a good one. Just trying to think who to combine it with. Wolverine and a Volus. I'm the best there is at what I do. And what I do isn't pretty. Oh man. There we go. So there's my 3. Reapers would be the Herald of Galactus, Nara Giant Man, and a Volus and Wolverine. I like that question. That was fun. Alright, number 2 was if you had to choose 6 separate powers, what would they be? And also you have to come up with a name for yourself and must include speed and lightning. Okay, so you got some examples here like speed, fast track, lightning, lightning rod, fire, hothead, ice, cold heart, smoke, smoker, and that's kind of there, and energy, energon. Alright, some of them are quite on the nose. So if I had to choose 6 separate powers, what would they be? And also you have to come up with a name for yourself and must include speed and lightning. So I've got to choose 6 separate powers, but I've got to have speed and lightning as those powers, as 2 of them. So really I'm only coming up with 4 powers. Okay, I'm going to have to come up with a name for myself or for each power. I don't quite understand this. If you had to choose 6 separate powers, so like, do I have all 6 of these powers, or do I have to come up with 6 powers I would like and what name I would have for each of them? I don't know. So let's just say I have all 6 powers. So speed and lightning, so I've got to have. I'll have ice ability, because that'd be cool. Health regeneration, flight, and what should the last one be? Last one will be invisibility. That's also quite cool. And I would be called... I don't know, what would I be called? I'm useless at coming up with names. I would be called... I'm useless, I can't come up with names. I'm terrible at stuff like that. So I'm just going to call myself... Honestly, I can't come up with a name, so I'm leaving that last bit out because I can. But yeah, I'll have speed and lightning because you said I gotta have them. I will health regeneration, ice powers. I'll be able to fly, and I can go invincible. So there we go. And your last question was, will you play Thor, the console game, and Mortal Kombat X? I was excited to get Mortal Kombat X, but when I saw the fatalities, I had second thoughts. I won't be playing Mortal Kombat. I mean, if I'm ever going to play a fighting game, it will be Injustice, Gods Among Us. But I'm not really a fan of those sort of games. And will I ever play the Thor console game? I had no idea there was a Thor console game. I thought there was only one on mobiles. Thor console game. Let's see. Let's see what comes up here. Walkthrough 360. I had no idea there was even a Thor game. When did this game come out? Huh. I don't know. I might have to look into this. I mean, right now it doesn't look like it's that great of a game. It looks like, we know when I say, like, I think of games that are based off films and they're not really all that hot. They're not already that great. This is the sort of game I think of. It looks like it's, I don't know, just be made very quickly to match the release date of the film. But I don't know, I could be wrong. It could be quite a good game. I don't know. I'll look into it. That's my answer. I'll look into it. Mission Unstoppable 1 said, damn it, Dave, you weren't supposed to answer that question so easily. Here's another one. Which incarnation of Spider-Man do you like more? The Ultimate Spider-Man, not Miles Morales, or the 90s cartoon Spider-Man? Also, how did you come to know about Mass Effect? Oh, sorry, it's Mission Unstoppable that's trying to get me with these questions, not a WJS Gamer. Oh, sorry, my mistake. See, there we go, that's better. Combine two Spider-Mans, that makes the question harder for me. So, which incarnation of Spider-Man do I like more? Oh, that is hard. Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, there you go, now you've got me. Ultimate Spider-Man. And as you say, not Miles Morales. I'm going Ultimate Spider-Man because not only did I sit down and read like over 130 odd issues of that, or however many they were, I loved that character. I loved him. I loved everything about the universe. I loved everything about everything that went on. The main reason I love the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, other than the fact it was awesome, another part of it's nostalgia, another part of it's Christopher Daniel Barnes doing a goddamn fantastic job voice acting it. But yeah, when it comes down to it, Ultimate Spider-Man, the Peter Parker version, it just did it for me. It just really did. But no, that was better. That was more on the money. There you go. There's a hard question. that took a bit of thinking. But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man by a margin, by a thin margin. Also, how did I come to know about Mass Effect? I watched a walkthrough of it. I can't remember how. I just come across a walkthrough of it, and I was just like, that was fun. I liked that. It was by Excaliburs. Oh man, I haven't watched. Do you know, I haven't watched YouTube like walkthroughs on YouTube in such a long time. It's like as I've gone more making videos, I've watched less. Like the videos I watch now are more like informative videos as opposed to like gameplay fun videos. Man, I haven't actually sat down and watched a walkthrough in so long. I might have to do that when I get some time off. But yeah, it was Excaliburs. That's how I first came about know about Mass Effect. I'm really glad I did. It was one of those things where I started watching it, thought this is awesome, and stopped watching it because I was like, I need to play this first. I need to experience this for myself first. But Mission Unstoppable 1 said, also, JJJ is inspired by the one and only Stan Lee. The reason why JJJ demands photos of Spider-Man is because Stan Lee would do that all the time with his artists being somewhat grumpy and irritable at times. There are also other artists' similarities between them, like the stylist mustache. Now, here's another one you can try. These are for everyone in case everyone was wondering. Professor X and Magneto's personalities were based on two well-known real-life people. Who are they? Find out on the next time on the Captain's Quarters. Oh, this is kind of cool. I like this. You get me with my own to be continued in a sense here, but I like these. I'm learning something every time I'm doing one of these. Yeah, it seems now you say that J. Jonah Jameson's based on Stan Lee, I can actually see it a little bit. Although you got to admit I always forget his name, but the guy who played it in Spider-Man 3, like in the initial trilogy of Spider-Man 3, like he just did it so well. He just did it so well. What's his name? What's the actor's name? J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons, as far as I'm concerned, just is J. Jonah Jameson. This is. I really hope he comes back in the MCU for it and reprises his role. Archangel 3 said, "Hey Captain, oh my Captain. You want a funny April Fool's story? Well, this April, a well-known Star Wars news source said that in the Han Solo movie that Disney will make eventually was going to have Nicolas Cage as Han Solo." And they said that Michael Bay would be directing it. And it was funny how many people thought it was real and were really upset about it. You should look it up and look at the comments. They're so hilarious. Oh my lord. I bet people were nerd raged about that. I bet they got so angry. The thing is though, you got to learn by this point, you can't believe anything on the internet on April 1st. You just can't. Like, if that came out, I mean, if that came out, I would be shocked and appalled. Say, like, they said Spider-Man was going to be played by Nicolas Cage and Michael Bay was directing it, I'd be like, what? And then straight away I think, hold up, it's April 1st. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow and see what happens. But, oh man, I bet people got so angry about that. Could you imagine Nicolas Cage? I actually just the other night watched Con Air again. Such a good film. Do you know what I am? Ugly every day. Nicolas Cage. Oh man, I bet people got so angry about that. Nandini R said, "Play Batman Arkham Knight when it comes out, please." Yes, I will. It's just obviously I have to wait till I get a next gen console first, so I will do a walkthrough, but it might be quite a while after it comes out. It depends how soon I can afford to get one. Jim Jenks said, "Out of the 3 X-Men films out next year, Apocalypse, Gambit, and Deadpool, what am I most excited about?" For me, it's Deadpool. Can't wait. For me, it's probably... I'm going to say Apocalypse. Like, I really am excited to see Age of Apocalypse. I'm really more excited to see the new cast and see how they will line up together. I'm really excited just the fact that it looks like they've actually got an X-Men team. Finally. After all these years of X-Men, it finally looks like they've sat down and said, right, let's do the X-Men. Let's have a school. Let's have the kids. Let's have Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, Beast. Let's just have them properly how they should be. And I'm so glad they're finally doing that. So I'm excited most for Apocalypse. But Gambit is... Deadpool is a very close second. I am very much looking forward to that. But now Apocalypse is the one I'm most looking forward to. Gambit, I've never quite understood the hype around that guy. Never have. Every person always says, "Oh, Gambit's my favourite." And whenever I've read Gambit, a bit of the Gambit solo run, anytime he's ever been in the X-Men, boring. I've never liked Gambit. I don't understand why everyone loves Gambit so much, because he's really not that interesting. He really isn't. Oh, Cher, oh, mon ami. It's like, go away. Either be so productive to the team or piss off. He winds me up so much. Oh. But no, it's like anytime I've seen Gambit in an X-Men run, he's just never contributed, and he's not interesting, and just I don't get why everyone likes him so much. Maybe he was like in the 90s, but he's just not now. Kyle Portella 13 said, "Hi Dave, you and I are the same. For example, Krogan Headbutt, I like Grunt 2 and Spider-Man. I have the same games you have. Hey, if you like Spider-Man and you like Grunt, then you are definitely got good taste, my friend. You have good taste." General Fire said, "If Apple made a car, would it have windows?" Oh, that's good. I like that. That's actually tickled me. It's like there's that picture as well. Have you ever seen it where there's the Justice League lineup and there's windows underneath, and you got all the Justice League, and then the next one says Apple, and there's all the Justice League, but there's an error sign over Flash. God, that cracked me up. I thought it was brilliant. Siraj Bernasi, I hope I've said that right, sorry, said, "Hey Dave, it's been a long time since the last Captain's Quarters I watched, but I've had a lot on my head, school and other stuff." You've had a school on your head? Holy moly. So I watched you through the years, and I've seen you have a lot of fun, and that gives me the idea to start my own gaming channel. So I need advice which editing software I need to use. Thank you so much for your advice, and sorry for the bad grammar. I'm Dutch, so I can't really be good at English. Oh, I feel sorry for laughing at that now. I feel like That's the thing, is that your English was actually very, very good. So that's why I took the piss when I saw a mistake, because I assumed you were English, because your English is actually very, very good. So I thought it was just a general mistake. Sorry about that. I feel bad now. I feel like a jerk. But yeah, so you want advice on editing software. This is, again, sort of getting back to the point that I was saying about like the Patreon account and the PayPal account and stuff like that. Is all my editing software, like the last version of Sony Vegas I got was 2009. So that's 6 years old now. So like up-to-date editing software, I have no idea what the best thing to get is. Most computers, I believe, still have Windows Movie Maker installed. So if you want to try your hand at editing before spending any real money on it, I think some people use Movie Maker, but it is extremely limited what you can do. I think literally what you can do is just cut videos, and that's pretty much it. Like, there's no I'm not sure if there's fade in, fade out, text, all that sort of stuff. I doubt it has any of that. What I use is a Sony Vegas Pro 9, but unfortunately I was the idiot and bought the Platinum Edition, which I thought would have more. Turns out it actually has a lot less. So again, so if I'm getting better editing software, I could upload in 1080p instead of 720. But hey ho. But and the quality would be better as well. But yeah, so when it comes to editing software, I use Sony Vegas, and I mean, I could get a better version and it could be better, but it's always served me well. The only issue I've ever had with Sony Vegas is like stuff like my channel trailer that I said I was going to make and I haven't made yet, because I put in more than 10 different clips and it crashes. It just can't handle like loading that much information, which I think is just so stupid when you're editing software. The whole point is you're supposed to be editing clips, and if you put too many in, it crashes. It's just like, that's like having a computer that can't load the internet. It's just stupid. It's like, it's general purpose. So no, but other than that, Sony Vegas Pro 9, that served me fine, and obviously I'm guessing there's a Pro 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15 by this point, but yeah, Sony Vegas, that's what I use to edit. Other than that, I have no idea. I'm looking into upgrading all of my stuff right now. So, but yeah, Sony Vegas has always done me well. Ian Raphael said, what is your favourite game that is not Mass Effect, and will you play Fallout 2? I will not. I probably won't play Fallout 2. I mean, hell, I haven't even finished Fallout New Vegas yet, so I most definitely will probably not play Fallout 2. But what's my favourite game that isn't Mass Effect? Probably Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I think I've probably played that the most, other than Mass Effect. I mean, I'm really enjoying Skyrim right now, so that could be a favourite, possibly. Maybe one of the Spider-Man games, I don't know. Because like, there's games that I love, like Skyrim. I'm really loving that right now. But there's some games that are just, there's something about them. They're not the best game in the world, but I just love them. Like Ultimate Alliance 2. It is not the best game in the world. There is a very strong argument to say that Ultimate Alliance 1 is actually better than Ultimate Alliance 2. But there's something about it I just love. It was a good point in my life. I remember how excited I was to play that game. It reminds me of like my very first walkthrough I ever did. Or at least my very first successful walkthrough. The very first superhero walkthrough I did was Ultimate Alliance 2. It's one of my favourites. It was one of my first videos that ever went really popular as well, was part 1 of that. So, I don't know. Oh, I'd say Ultimate Alliance 2. It's just got a soft spot in my heart. Monty Pig of the Doodle Clan said, Dave, I want you to have a conversation with yourself using nothing but your impersonations. The conversation will be J. Jonah Jameson going back and forth with Aaron Cash, whether he should fire Aaron or not. Oh man. Oh. Alright, hang on, let me think about this. This is going to be awful. This is going to be so bad. Oh. Right, if any of you hate me for doing this, please don't unsubscribe, just blame Monty Pig of the Doodle Clan. Alright, let me think about this for a sec. I just muted my mic for a second while I cleared my throat. Right, what shall the conversation be between them? I'm just trying to remember my Aaron Cash voice as well. How did that go? That was it. That was my Aaron Cash voice. Oh dear. I'm just trying to think of any other impressions I've done that I can add into the mix. I can't think of any right now. Other than maybe a little bit of Sean Connery. But, alright. Cash! I thought you were going to give me those pictures of Spider-Man! Where are they? I forgot Aaron Cash's voice already! That's how much I hate him. I scrubbed him from my mind. Think about it. My Aaron Cash and J. Jonah Jameson are pretty close. If you think about it, America, you're fired. It's like they're exactly the same. I just realised that. I'm sorry for J. Joe and Jameson now, but no, do you know what? I'm not gonna do that, because I don't want to lose half my viewers in like 1 second. Rightio. So that tiny little bit you got there will have to do, mainly because I don't think it's gonna sound as good as I think it will. The Captain of Fire said, Dave, I join you now, but question time. How many episodes do you think Skyrim will go on before we get halfway through it? Oh wow, I have no idea. As I say, personally, I've never completed Skyrim. I have been told it goes on for a lot longer than Mass Effect. So, how many episodes till I'm halfway through? No idea. No idea. The 50s, maybe the 100s, God knows. As far as my outlook with Skyrim is, I can play that game like once a month, or once every couple of weeks, or a couple of times a week, and not get bored of it. I can just come back to it after not playing it for ages and get straight back into it. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be playing Skyrim just indefinitely until I eventually complete the game. And that's why I have started doing walkthroughs alongside it. That's why I've started doing Walking Dead. And then once Walking Dead's done, I might do the Lego Batman series, or maybe I'll play the Thor game, who knows. Now I found out about that, so maybe I'll redo Ultimate Alliance 1. I mean, that's why I've started doing a walkthrough alongside Skyrim, because I've come to the realization that Skyrim is going to go on for a very, very, very long time. And I know a lot of you guys like the superhero, the comic book games. So obviously I'm playing Walking Dead because that's a comic book game, and a lot of you have asked for me to continue that. And then after that, I'll go back to doing a superhero one. So, but they're always going to be at the same time as Skyrim, because Skyrim's just going to be going on for such a long time. So I could see myself this time next year still talking about Skyrim. Where did you buy your PVR? I bought it on Amazon. I heard at the time that was the best PVR around, and most of the YouTube people at the time were using that PVR. Obviously, that was in 2010, so. But just Amazon, the Hauppauge PVR. I think there's a Hauppauge 2 out now, and there's probably nearly a Hauppauge 3 by this point. Where do you think they are going with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show? Do you know, honestly, I have no idea. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear anything about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, skip forwards about a couple of minutes or whatever. I won't talk about it for that long. But where I'm at now in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the real S.H.I.E.L.D. has just been revealed. That's where I'm at right now. And Bobby and Mac have just brought in, what's his face? The British guy. I can't remember his name now. I can't remember his name, and he's just escaped. That's where we're at now, and Sky's has gone into sort of like that protection, that little field, and we've just sort of caught up with Grant Ward. So right now, I have no idea. The Inhumans are clearly playing a big role in the background right now, and it's weird because the Inhumans film doesn't come out until 2019, so they're getting an early push. Like, it's like they are Inhumans, we know that. So I don't know, unless in Age of Ultron, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, unless they're going to be Inhumans and not mutants, because obviously mutants belongs to Fox right now. So unless they're going to be Inhumans, or maybe they're just genetic experiments, who knows, because obviously they're at the end clips of Winter Soldier. So who knows? But the Inhumans are clearly playing a part. The whole real S.H.I.E.L.D. thing is, I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea what's going on there. Although am I right in thinking that the S.H.I.E.L.D. that's on the real S.H.I.E.L.D. is the same S.H.I.E.L.D. from the Ultimate Universe? Am I correct in thinking that? Or is it just, I might have just pulled that out of my arse, I'm not sure. But I have no idea where they're going. And that's what I love about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other shows. Because quite a lot of shows, especially like detective stuff and like sort of cop shows and whodunit shows and stuff like that, normally halfway through you guess who's done it. You got to pick out 4 or 5 characters, and it's the way it is. And it gets boring because after a while you're not really entertained. You know where it's going, you're just watching it. Stuff like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know where it's going. I'm constantly surprised with that show, and that's why I love it so much. I love stuff that I can just be a fan of, and I haven't guessed the outcome before it's got there. Like, every time Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. end, I'm just like, damn it, because I want to watch the next one. So, I have no idea where they're going. I'm curious what this whole real S.H.I.E.L.D. thing is about. The Inhumans are clearly going to play a huge role. I love it if Sky makes like an appearance in the cinematic universe. That would be awesome. That would be really, really great, like in an actual movie. And for anyone who doesn't know, Skye is Daisy Johnson, who's Quake, an agent who is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the comics. But yeah, she plays a character called Quake, whose name is actually Daisy Johnson. So yeah, so there you go. She was actually, during the Secret Invasion storyline, she was working with Nick Fury. And she was also, I think she first came into it during Secret Wars, the initial. No, not Secret Wars. Oh, was it called Secret War? Or was it Secret Invasion? No. Oh, bloody hell, I can't remember what it's called now. Let me check my comics, hang on. I'm pretty certain it was called Secret War. Which one is it? Yeah, Secret War. Where Nick Fury and a few other people invaded Latveria. Like, basically the start of the Ultimate Alliance 2 game. Yeah, but not obviously the Secret Wars that is happening now with like the whole continuity shift and all that sort of stuff. Not that Secret Wars. Man, there's been loads of Secret Wars. You got the Secret Wars back in like the 80s or whatever, which is what they're redoing now with like the whole like universes collapsing on each other. Then you had Secret War, which was the one where they invaded Latveria. Now you got Secret Wars again, which is just starting now, like with the end of time. So that's weird, but yeah. So that's where she first made her appearance. And finally, you are my favourite YouTuber. Stay awesome, epic, and whatever else you want to call yourself. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. The General of Fire said, "Hey Dave, I was just a thought of something. Because of Marvel Cinematic Universe do not make video games, what will happen to the new Spider-Man games?" That's a good point, actually. The thing is, Spider-Man's still owned by Sony. Even though he's in the cinematic universe now, he is actually still owned by Sony. They didn't give up the rights. It's just Sony are working with Marvel Studios now. So, like, at the end of the day, as far as I know it, they're working in collaboration. Spider-Man's going to be in the Spider-Man universe, but Sony still gets the final say. Like, they still get the final cut. So, say if this Spider-Man movie comes out and it sucks, it might not be because it might not be Feige fault. I mean, let's face it, Kevin Feige has just anything he touches turns to gold. He's literally all of his producing career has been Marvel since 2000 onwards. It's all been Marvel. So, but it could be because Sony's still owning it. Basically, as far as I know, Sony get the final cut. So something might get produced and they'd be like, might be note, this, that, and that, and they might want to add something else in. They get the final say. So when it comes to making games, I'm guessing that's the ball's still in Sony's court because they still own Spider-Man. So they're just working. They're just sort of like working with. So it's like a Sony production, but it's being introduced into the cinematic universe. So hopefully, games will still be produced. That's the hope. That's the hope, anyway. So. Anyway, with that being said, that was the last question of this week's Captain's Quarters. As I say, my questions for you guys was, what do you think of the first episode of the podcast? Is it something you like? Is it everything you thought it would be? And if you haven't seen it, what the hell are you doing? Go over there and watch it now. It's awesome fun time for any comic book nerd out there, or anyone who wants to be a comic book nerd. Go watch it. It's awesome. And also, what do you guys think about the whole Patreon, the whole PayPal account things? I don't know, I'm on the fence. It just makes me feel dirty inside. It just does. But I can see also why it would be beneficial. I mean, in that way I'd be able to afford some better equipment. I can get a webcam, I can live stream, I can get a next-gen console so I can play Batman and do a walkthrough. I can get better recording equipment, better quality videos like 1080p, no blurry, no graininess, no PVR cutting out. It would be cool. It'd be really cool. Better editing software. So let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, and as I say, other than that, any questions or comments that you just want to ask me, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll get around to them next week. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. And that's not just me saying it as a general thing. I actually generally really want to know. Like, is that... I don't know, just what is your thoughts on that? That's literally, I don't know, because I do want to do it, it's just, I hate asking for stuff, I really do, and I feel that's what I'd be doing if I created one of those accounts. I feel like I'd be asking you for money, and the whole thought just, I don't know, just like, if someone donated it, it's fine, but I feel like asking for it, I don't know, it just feels wrong, but, I don't know, I just do, so, it's just who I am. I don't like asking for things. But yes, let me know what you guys think about all that sort of stuff. And other than that, my name's been Captain Dave. This has been the Captain's Quarters, and I will catch you guys later.